We have been dealing with Memorandum of Understanding signed between Libya and Turkey. We discussed this, and it's very clear from our discussion that this document raises major concerns. We express our solidarity and our support to Greece and Cyprus, and we will continue doing that. You know that we already delivered a communication on that issue on, I think it was on last week, as soon as we knew about this agreement. On Libya, more specifically, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Germany, Heiko, Maas, has informed the Council about the Germans' plan for the Berlin process, which aims at finding a sustainable solution to the situation in Libya. I hope it will bear fruits, and I believe we should be able to do more on Libya. We certainly do more because we cannot claim to be a geopolitical power or a geopolitical commission if we cannot solve problems in our immediate neighborhood. We also touch upon Ukraine and the Normandy 4 summit, which is taking place as we speak now in Paris. I think we have a positive momentum that needs to be used. It has been some improvement, some disengagement, and I hope that today's summit will be another step towards a sustainable and peaceful solution to the conflict. I personally raised Iran because on Friday we had the meeting of the Joint Commission of the JCPOA on Friday in Vienna, chaired by the Secretary General of the European External Action Service, which showed that all participants stand behind the agreement and want to preserve it. This unanimous position is for us very important. All participants stand behind the agreement and want to preserve it. I highlighted on a note just after the meeting that to keep this agreement alive is a collective responsibility. But unless the recent trend on the nuclear side is not reversed, it will not be sustainable. But the European Union and all participants on the Friday meeting in Vienna are very much standing behind this agreement. Bolivia. Since the very beginning of the crisis, the European Union has been very active. We have been actively engaged. And I want to thank the European Union delegation and all embassies of the European Union member states for the work they have done. And we hope that the parties continue to show moderation and complete the transition and reconciliation process through holding elections. Bolivia, as you know, is part of a wider worrying situation in Latin America. On the last 5 years, it hasn't been any high-level meeting, summit between European Union and Latin American countries. I think this has to be corrected, and addressing this will be one of my priorities during my mandate. But the most important and most pressing priority for us today is the relations with Africa. In the agenda, this was one of the 2 items. And we started the work with the European Union foreign ministers to discuss on how do we want to shape our relationship with our African partners in order to prepare the 2020 European Union-African Union Summit. We need a comprehensive strategy with Africa. When Europeans think on Africa, they think on migration and demography, because they are like watching images of people arriving to the European coast and people dying crossing the Mediterranean. For sure, migration is one of the most important issues we have to deal with African neighbors, but it's not the only one.